Hello. Oh my goodness, you guys do look good. Hi, I am Janine Rubenstein, editor-at-large at People Magazine, where I cover all things entertainment. Thank you for that. And I'm a huge Emily in Paris fan. I like to call myself one of Emily's expats. As you can see, I'm hard launching that name. It has not taken off yet, but please help me. But this is so great. We got to see the season finale of season 4, where Emily has just gone through ups and downs, ins and outs, personal and professional, and it has led her to Rome, of all places. Nobody saw that coming, and we're going to figure out why and how and what. So, join me right now. We have the creatives and the cast behind this wonderful, just eye candy of a show to sit down, right? It's like, to sit down and talk about all of the magic that went into this season and hopefully give us some teases as to what is to come in season 5. So, without further ado, join me tonight in giving a warm American welcome to some of our favorite first guys of the series. Let's start with Lucien Laviscount. Who plays Alfie?
How's it going?
This is our Alfie here. Bruno Gouery, who plays Luke. Samuel Arnold, who plays Julien. Ow, ow, ow! Lucas Bravo, who plays Gabriel. Yeah, you're gonna go that one right there. And then executive producer Andrew Fleming, who helps us get all of this together. This one right there, great. And now, some of our lovely ladies of the show and creator, Ashley Park, who plays Mindy Chen. The Philippine Leroy-Beaulieu, who plays Sylvie. And of course, Lily Collins, who plays Emily Cooper. And then there is the guy, creator, executive producer, and writer, Darren Star. Wow. You guys are doing your thing. Darren, I'm going to start with you.
Oh.
Yep. Right off the
Okay.
bat.
All right.
Emily, I want to go into creating this season, to ideating this season. It is a show that is loved across the world by fans of all generations, and that has to be a lot of pressure going into a season 4. So I want to go into that writer's room, and I want to talk about Emily's journey, how she's become way more mature, I feel like, in this season, but also who was the guy or girl at the table who said, you know what we should do at the end of this season? We should just change the whole show.
You know, I had this idea to go to Italy for a long time and to go to Rome and wanted to shake things up. So there was always this idea that we would end the season in Rome. Not quite exactly sure how we'd get there and how we're going to end up ever leaving, but I wanted to be there. We sort of felt like once Emily got her feet on the ground, just as she was getting her feet on the ground in Paris, getting comfortable, starting to speak French, suddenly she's in another country. And I also love the idea of playing with the cultural differences, not just between the Americans and the Italians, but also the French and the Italians. So everyone is a fish out of water.
Oh yeah, a fabulous fish out of water.
Yes,
How about
exactly.
that?
Yeah.
Well, sticking with you for a second, you do this. So you create shows that stick with people in their hearts, in their guts, in their minds for a lifetime. I mean, Beverly Hills 90210, you guys. Melrose Place. We have Sex in the City, of course. And now, Emily in Paris, same, like it's in that family.
Wait, what about younger?
Oh, yeah, younger. All of these things. What's in the sauce? What would you say? I know it takes a lot, but what would you say are some ingredients to making a show that resonates like that? Because you've done so many.
You know, I think it's got to be something that resonates with me, an idea that resonates with me, something I can really relate to and connect to, and something to say, and great characters. And, you know, you got to have that sort of magic alchemy of the characters and the cast. That they kind of, it just all has to come together, and I get really inspired by the cast and the actors that I work with.
Yeah. Perfect segue. Thank you, Darren. Great characters and led by a great star, Lily.
Woo!
Wow. I mean, you are living out all of our dreams in this show. I mean, the fashion, of course, the job that actually excites you, that you want to get up and go to, and then all of these just relationships with the hottest men you can imagine.
And hottest roommate.
And hottest roommate.
Hello. The most important relationship of them all.
Yes. What are you hoping to see in season 5 for Emily? If you could write it?
Well, the fun thing actually about this show is that we don't ever actually know what's happening until Darren's writing it in real time. So for us, we never actually know what is going to happen. I would say I'm really excited to explore more of Italy. I think there is so many more amazing places to go to. I love Rome, but I think there's so many adventures to be had all around. And I just love this year that we got to see a more vulnerable, mature side of Emily, and I don't know, I like digging deeper into that. I do feel like you said she's more mature this year, and there's growth. There's growth for all of us as characters on this show, and I hope to continue more of that, and obviously fun fashion, because Marilyn Fatoussi is an absolute wizard, and she's a goddess, and she's just the most wonderful collaborator. So I look forward to seeing what the evolution is in that world as well.
Oh yeah. The crying in the snow. That was just like, the vulnerability. I love it.
I was like, can Emily please just break down this year? I was like, can I please have a breakdown?
But also the way she walks into Sylvie's office now, like you see the trip, she's like, we need a moment.
She doesn't even nod.
She didn't even nod. We need a moment, as opposed to it used to be.
That's gonna have to change.
In a nutshell, if you were Emily's friend, how would you describe her to another friend about what she's gone through? If she called you, downloaded you on everything she had been through.
I mean, girl's been through a lot.
I know.
It just depends on what season.
How would you bottle her up?
Who is Emily to me?
Who is Emily to you?
She's an unapologetic ray of sunshine who's not afraid to ask for help and isn't afraid to take risk, but has learned a lot through kind of the ups and downs of life. She's just in the process of learning who she is, like all of us.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Exactly like your character, Philippine. Peas in a pod, right? Sylvie knows who she is, and she knows how to get what she wants from anyone, even if it means like, give me your Roman office for a day so I can win this character.
What's the problem?
But the question I did have about your character this season is personal. I couldn't tell if she was dating and, doing things out of spite because of the situation with her husband, or if she was just doing what she does. How did you play it?
Yeah, I think she was doing what she does. She went to Rome and she suddenly realized that there's more about life than work. Mm-hmm. And she wants to hook up with her old lover in Rome, which is what she does. But there is a sense of there's a sense of solitude in the character that is growing, and I love that too. You know, she's in this open couple with her husband, which obviously works, but something is brewing inside of her, and I feel that. Yeah, I feel there's a sort of there's a lot of solitude. At the end, I was thinking, good, this is a show also about that, the solitude of women. I feel that in years when we're going to watch this show, we're going to realize this is a moment in society that Darren has like captured in a really clever way, and it has to do with that too. And I love how complex Sylvie's become. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so complex. That walk, that Sylvie walk.
Wait, you should do
Who?
You want me to do it?
It is amazing. It is amazing. Bottle it, please. How much Philippine is in Sylvie and vice versa?
Oh, I mean, she grew.
We got stories.
No, Luca, shut up. Actually, she grew inside of me more and more. I'm becoming more like her. And no, not really. No, she's like the shadow. She's Philippine's shadow, which is interesting to work on as an actor. So
I never even met Philippine until season 2.
she hated me for 2 seasons.
I did not hate you.
She hated me because I was in character. Because
I just never knew who Philippine really was. Season 1, I just thought she was Sylvie. and then I met her daughter, and her daughter was so sweet. She's like, oh, my mom is just so enjoying working with you, and she's just like so chill, and I'm like, like, I don't really know.
And you said, I'm not like Emily at all.
Yeah, exactly. And then when I finally met her, I was like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. It was a weird.
Yeah, but it was weird.
Fun.
Because I never played a villain, so I had to find something but I had to be a character. So yeah, I wasn't really
Found
nice.
it, nailed
I wasn't
it,
nice to
love it.
anyone.
Ashley.
The real villain of the series. Just wait till season 5. I don't know.
What's in store?
I don't know, Darren. I'm just kidding.
We would not understand the intricacies of what Emily is going through were it not for your relationship. Those powwows at the end of the night in that tiny apartment that can't possibly store all those clothes is so great.
I love powwows. We should use that.
Yeah, let's
and
do
put
it.
powwows
Yeah.
is great.
But what kind of, it's kind of a similar question, what kind of friend is Ashley? And how have you poured that into Mindy?
Oh gosh, I don't think that's a question for me because I think I can say what I connected with about even just from the first scene that I read of Mindy's character, which made me want to be the kind of friend that she was. I think that I was so attracted to the quality of like her empathy. You know, even just from the very beginning, we see that she notices this beautiful girl on a bench. She's very lonely and in a new city, and she knows what that feels like, and she doesn't want her to go through that. So she's like, here's my number, come to this party. So I think I was really attracted to her warmth and her empathy and her severe honesty, but never with judgment and never with any sort of premonition of what somebody should do, but just like a listening ear. I think that I think she's inspired me a lot in kind of terms of the kind of friend I would want to be. Yeah. And so I don't know what kind of friend I am. I'm really bad at answering texts.
I knew it. Like, as soon as you said that.
Let me tell you, I am like Minnie. She's present when she's present with you, but I do think that when, like her and Emily, the reason they are living together is because Emily is her home, very much like Lily has become a home for me and a place of safety for me. And I think that when Mindy and Emily are not in the apartment together, Mindy is never answering her text. Emily's like, are you going to be home at 9 p.m.? And Mindy's like, I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know. Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I knew you were like the left on red friend in the group chat.
No, but she has, you can go to bed with like hundreds of unread emails, and I am like, read.
I know, but
Like,
once you get past like 20, it's just easier just to see them when you see them.
And we all need that friend. We really do. We really do. Andy, I want to come to you about pivot.
Oh my God.
Quick turn. I want to come to you to talk about the setting that we have. We have Paris in the winter for the first time, I think, throughout the whole show. How did that dictate, everything from some of the fashion choices, some of the moments? How did winter Paris change things for you?
Well, we were kind of forced into it because of the strikes.
God. Yeah.
Yes, the strikes.
No, the strikes.
Otherwise known as Guy. But then we thought it was an opportunity. We talked about doing an Alpine episode all along of Emily skiing. And I had spent a Christmas or two in Paris before the show, and it was beautiful. Paris is magical in the winter, and I thought it was just another great look. We've always been there during the summer, so it was just I felt like it was an opportunity. I think maybe the ladies and all the actors on the show might feel slightly differently because it was cold. It was very, very cold. It was very, very cold.
I don't like the winter.
I don't like it. She's right.
And we were trying to make some of the episodes still spring, so they were in little dresses, and it was very, very cold. And they were very, very professional, and they acted like it was summer, and everybody was fooled. But I loved being there in the winter, and the cold doesn't bother me. So
Nice. Really quickly take us to Rome, though. What was filming there like for you, and scouting and doing all that stuff to figure out like how to bottle Rome into a day? I think it was that she would Trevi Fountain and everything.
It was a quick one.
yeah, well, we were shooting there for 3 weeks, and there was a lot of trips back and forth. I was shooting in Paris while we were prepping Rome, so it was there were no days off, but it was such a beautiful experience. Challenging to shoot at Trevi Fountain and the Spanish Steps because there are thousands of people there.
Yeah.
So we had to get there at 4:45 in the morning to those places and be ready to shoot when the sun came up, and then be done and shoot furiously and be done at 9 a.m. But it was so beautiful. There were a couple of times I was standing in front of Trevi Fountain by myself, and it's really just a magical place. And I felt very, privileged to be able to do that.
Oh yeah, it's privilege, but it's work. You guys hear 4 a.m. tiny dresses, winter. Yeah, got it.
Andy was in the tiny
Well, that means she wakes up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lucas.
It's worth it.
It's so worth it. Thank
Yeah,
you. Lucas, I want to move on to you. You had such an arc. Your character had such an arc. Gonna be a dad, not gonna be a dad, gonna get a Michelin star, not gonna get a Michelin star.
Honestly, high stakes.
You got it. Take it away.
Shorter hair, scruffier hair, longer hair.
I just wanted to be an actor, and this guy just. Hi, I'm Gabrielle, and I'm single. By the way, can I just take a moment to say Camille couldn't be here with us? Can we make some noise for this beautiful young lady?
Love her.
Always think about Camille, aren't you?
This is how his mind works. This is how his mind works. Like you're on set and you're like playing two notes with a guitar, dusty guitar on the side. He's like, "You play guitar?" And next episode you have like a full-on concert. That's what he does.
Oh my goodness, I love it. When you went into prepping for that triangle of all triangles and navigating it, how did you kind of feel out those moments? You have moments with Camille that are so intimate, and I'm like, he loves her. And then you have moments with Emily, and I can't tell. So how did you figure it out in terms of prepping for all of your ups and downs?
We don't want to know, Lucas.
I would love to know.
What Lucien wants to
She's
know.
asking the tough questions.
Take me to your method.
So, honestly, the thing is, you know, we started shooting the show 5 years ago, and what's funny is we experience the world, we have our own lives for a year, and we experience and we gather and we go back to the characters, and only one day has passed in the show. So, So basically, we are 4 years ahead of our characters, and the costume is a bit tight, and so we kind of grow apart, and we try to infuse the new nuances we gathered along the way, but we still need to be that same person that is still 4 years behind. So it's very interesting to navigate. I don't know where I'm going with this answer. You should be answering that.
I know, but you are the enigma of the show. I can't quite.
We can't understand what you're saying. Just tell me in English. I'll speak to you in
Keep in mind,
Just express yourself.
we're doing this in a foreign language. We're trying our best. I mean, when I'm in character, honestly, I think he's a very loving person. He's like a child. He's a man-child a bit. We're trying to make him more mature season after season, and I feel like the baby made him like realize that he needed to own up to his mistakes and stuff. But when I'm in character, honestly, I'm so in love with Emily. And I so want to make this bubble so perfect and romantic, and I could give her the world. But also Camille has been my life for so long that don't make fun of me, please. I'm trying to give them something.
We're listening.
No, but honestly, when I'm in character, I mean, when we were shooting that scene in Baccarat, that beautiful scene where we're dancing with the masks and everything. I felt such because it was like 2 seasons since we were I was chasing after Emily, and if you put together all the moments I've been standing and looking at Emily walking away, you have an episode. You have a full episode. So that moment where we finally reconnected in part 1 felt so. It was beyond me. It wasn't. I didn't have to act. We were so focused on making this bubble so beautiful and perfect that. It feels very real in the moment, and so and when you work with such talented actors, you just have to follow their leads. It's just magical to be on set with them. There's this powerhouses. Honestly,
We're gonna figure it out for him. Who's Team Emily and Gabrielle? All right. Who's Team Emily and Camille?
Emily and Camille, come on.
Gabrielle. Okay, we got one
Marcello! Does he?
No.
Well, I want to talk about another arc that we love to see, which was the character of Julien. Coming into his own, just quitting. Like, you know what? This isn't working for me. You came back, but this isn't working for me. How do you feel about Emily's role in your job security and how you've been able to do what you need to do? Because I love that scene in Rome where you're like, give me this job. What are you talking about? I've been here. How do you navigate that love, but also let me breathe when it comes to your job?
Do you know what? I always think that Julien is like very, very, how do you say that? Is like very impressed and in awe of Emily and her talent. They're doing the same thing. They're doing the same job, and it's like she's amazing. She's kind of like me. She dresses a lot, and she's like he just sees like a female counterpart, and it's like, wow, she's amazing. And at the same time, I'm like, he hates it. he just hates it. He hates it. That's brilliant. You know, he just hates it. And I think that what happens from season 1 to 4 is just him getting in turn with that and accepting it and leaving to come back. And when he comes back, I just think that he's at peace with it. And now, like, Emily is his sister, and like, he's the only one who can badmouth her. And so, like, if anyone tried to take her office, for example, he's not gonna have it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. But do you imagine him taking mini trips to Rome next season to?
I stopped imagining anything. Imagining anything, I think the imagination thing is for this guy over here.
Okay.
And it's been like blowing my mind since 5 years now, so I'm just gonna trust him.
I don't know how he sleeps at night.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He just dreams.
Well, Samuel, I also love seeing your love life play out a little bit this season
Yeah,
as well at that party.
I feel like we saw something at that party going on.
Yeah.
Like we saw a bit of like I always thought Julian was like just how do you say manizer? Menizer? Like, I just thought he was a player.
He asked him for the English.
No, what do you want to do?
to say. Excuse me. No, I just thought he was such a confident player. I just view him like that. And like at this party, I was like, hey, you're not that confident at all. And I think like you're running away from something. And you know, that would also explain why he's so focused on work. Because there's not just work in life, like Emily shows us. So yeah, and like Minji like really gave him the pep talk and everything. So we'll see.
She probably gave him some Molly too.
Don't do
Here you go, go get him.
Oh my goodness.
She did.
No, yeah.
That was my backstory. Yes. He wrote it in.
Can we talk a little bit about Luke?
Woo!
Okay. My heart, every time you walk onto the screen, I'm just like, what is he going to say? You are Paris for me. Like, you embody it.
Don't tell the Parisians that. It's between us.
Between us. I kind of want to ask the same question. How much Luke is in Bruno and vice versa?
It's hard to say, you know. I don't know because it's every time it's a balance when you act. Obviously, you bring yourself and you have to be inspired by the character the author gives to you. You know. So I don't really know. But I imagine
like
when I
100%.
act Luke, I imagine sometimes my father, sometimes an Italian actor named Roberto Benigni, something like that. You know. I bring them.
A little bit of everything.
I didn't know that.
I asked you in the hall back there, I was like, did he cheat on that fake Michelin chef lady, or did he not cheat on the fake Michelin chef lady? I wasn't sure if it happened or not.
You have to ask Darren.
I think she would love him to cheat, but I don't think it's. I think he's just been flirting.
Okay. It was just flirting, guys, for those of you.
Reckless, great.
But
You'll know when he cheats.
and just when it comes to that Parisness, that Parisianness that you are bringing into the show, what has been the fan reaction to you when you're out and about, when you're shopping for groceries, when you're like, what have people come up to you and said about this character?
You mean in Paris?
In Paris.
In Paris?
Yes.
No, I have to say that the French sometimes, many times, ask me, oh, can I have a selfie? It's for my mother, it's for my neighbor, it's for my dog, it's for my... And people from all around the world, we love Luc. They're more warm with me. Because the French are more shy, I think. They want to...
We're gonna say it like
Yeah,
that.
you feel the same. Yeah. But I have to say that when the people comes to me, they are coming with the smile because they think I'm Luke. So
I wonder why.
So I receive a lot of love. So thank you so much.
Speaking of someone who receives a lot of love, Lucien.
Thank you. That was really lovely, by the way. Jet lag kicked in, but that was really, really lovely. Thank you.
So we heard those cheers for Emily and Alfie going on,
Yeah.
and how big that is, and that was a heartbreaker. I think 2 times this season. I got heartbroken twice. When it comes to Alfie on this season of the show, of playing that heartbreak, of trying to give her distance and then coming back in, that level of sensitivity, that level of heart in like a suit guy is something that we're not used to seeing.
Yeah.
How do you balance just being kind of that alpha male Alfie, but also bringing that heart into it?
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to kind of to show that vulnerability with a character that's quite out there, quite outgoing and things like that. But to find the real level, I've got to thank Andy. I think you really kind of navigated that of where to take it. It's on the page, don't get me wrong, but when you're on the dance floor and you're working with these guys, you don't kind of know if you're on track, off track, or what track you're on sometimes. But yeah, I think Andy definitely kind of helped me kind of figure out where it lies, where it lays. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that scene where you're going into the church, your girlfriend's in there. Hey, what?
Is that an allergic reaction?
Allergic to church. I'm so sorry, keep going.
You're right, baby.
I'm so sorry.
You got it.
You're going into that place to meet a girlfriend. Who is the type of girl? We know Emily, of course.
Yeah.
But who's the type of girl that catches Alfie's eye that's not Emily?
Gosh, I think. What was that?
He said it's coming.
He's offsetting his girls right now.
It's Marianne.
Sorry, bro. Who is in that church? I don't know. Is there a girl in there? I don't know. But I think definitely. Emily definitely showed Alfie a whole other side to life and what love can be, and I think that he's definitely had women in his life, but I don't think he's ever had anyone in his life like Emily, who's kind of so focused, dedicated, true to who she is, and that ability she has to be vulnerable and to speak a truth. And I think that Alfie's definitely taken a lot from that. So I think that whoever, if there is someone, I think she's in for a treat because Alfie's learned a lot.
Last question. What are your DMs looking like after this season?
Pick up your phone.
My DMs, my DMs, I don't really check my DMs as much as maybe I should. Maybe I'm missing a trick. But I don't really check my DMs, but I will tonight. That's going to be... Thank you.
Let's talk fashion for a second, please, for this season. Lily, Ashley, Philippine, when you were working with Marilyn Fatucci, how much say is there? And she's a genius, clearly. She has masterfully created just some of the prettiest visuals ever. But what is that back and forth like with you? Either of you can take it.
Well, I mean, every season starts with like 2 days of 8-hour fittings. So I have like 16 hours of fittings, a record-breaking 81 looks in those 2 days this year. And some are commissioned, some are vintage, some are from collections of a time gone by, some are unknown designers that she found in her DMs, some are well-known designers. I mean, the list goes on, and some are pieces from my wardrobe. We all bring our own ideas. We bring people. We bring like family heirlooms. We bring gifts that we want to wear. And she has such a identity for each of us that we have added to throughout the years. Like you can clearly go into a room and go, oh, that's definitely for Mindy, that's definitely for Bruno, that's definitely for Samuel, that's definitely for Philippine. Like you know who everyone is so well this time, like in a fourth season, that we know ourselves even better, and she's so open to us having that collaborative nature with her. And yeah, sometimes she's just like, whatever jewelry, just whatever you want to put on. And I don't know, it's always so interesting to see what they're wearing, and of course the guys, because I always want to steal their wardrobe, you know? Because I'm like, what are you wearing tomorrow? Or like, I don't know, right? Because she's just so open to collaborating with us on everything.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth. A lot of back and forth, talking a lot about, you know. Also, what we want to give, what we want the public to feel from the character, not only see, because it's more about costumes and fashion. And so it's about, for me, it's about what we want to show the public without telling them, in a way. So it's like the way a coat moves, the way that color has a meaning, the way, you know, it's a sort of subliminal language that you put together with costumes, and it's really great to do. I love that. And with Marilyn, it's really fascinating, because she does come up with incredible ideas. And yeah, sometimes we text at 5 in.the morning before we go to sleep. But you know, it's fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So excuse me, Philippine, Sylvie had a style moment that paired so nicely with a line where she threw this fur, I think it was, over her shoulders and said, "Do I look
like someone who cooks a turkey?" Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yes.
And I have feathers. That wasn't even subliminal. That's totally.
It was so great. It was the feathers, yes.
A duck. No, she says a duck.
Ashley, your style on this show, Mindy's style on this show, is so you, so her, but so over the top at the same time. Is it the same kind of process, or is it like that but bigger? I'm thinking this, but let's go bigger.
Absolutely, I echo everything they just said. I think what's amazing about Marilyn and probably all of our processes is processes. Thank you, processism. As Bruno says, about all our processism is that she's an incredibly intentional and thoughtful storyteller, very much like how Darren and Andy approach our scripts and how all these actors do. And so, I mean, you spoke on the textures and the structures, and we've talked a lot about that in terms of the season, but I think Mindy, what I love about her, she kind of marches to the beat of her own fashion drum. You really can't define her in any box, and I think that's something that both Mindy and maybe Ashley has strived for a lot in life. And I think that I've learned so much about risk-taking, but also curating in a specific way in terms of fashion. And I've just learned so much from everybody here in Maryland. Even, I think you just watched the final episode, right? That dress that I wore, the red one, by the turtle fountain when we sang, the thought that was put into that was, for example, there were so many cutouts, so she was extremely vulnerable in that situation, but there was this bold and confident red color that showed that she was like in herself. And the texture was extremely structured and confining, but also like very fluid and versatile. So I think that everyone has examples of that kind of thought that's put into, and I think that's the special little sauce that is in the show. It's not just fashion for fashion's sakes or costumes. There's a lot of heart and genuine thought that's put into what story are we telling with these costumes. And I love that about Mindy, because she's always telling a different story. I don't know what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take us behind the scenes, though. You don't like winter. So what was it like when you were in one of those little tiny dresses and then they yelled cut? What did you put out? What were you looking like out there, Ashley?
Oh, I mean, you can go look at some of these pap photos. I don't want to, no, I'm okay with winter. I've been like screaming that I hate winter. I'm sorry, Darren. No, but I mean, it's just, I mean, to be candid, I think what Andy was talking about was one of the very first scene that you see of Mindy and Emily in the season. It was like everyone was in a parka and we were in a bathing suit outside in tank tops, but that's just part of the magic of No, but I think that
well, it's like the polo scene.
Oh
When
my
we're
gosh.
shooting the polo scene. I don't know if you've seen it yet,
That was
but
cold.
That was the coldest day.
literally the coldest day I've
the
ever
wind
been on
was like,
set.
and we had so much dialogue. We really wanted to
couldn't
get
move my
through
mouth.
it.
I
I
was
think
like,
like
la, la, da,
our eyes were watering after
I
every
was
take.
blue.
We were like,
We had our sweatpants, and we had to we're like, do you need a wide shot of this? Like, can we just do close-ups? Because literally we couldn't even pull our.
and we were
Sweat
switching off
down.
with the binoculars because I was like, my mascara's running. Give me the binoculars. we strategize well. We're all a team, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love those behind the scenes details. I want to take it to the guys a little bit. Give me some of your favorite moments, either on camera or off camera. Not even just this season, throughout the 4 seasons. What's been a moment where you're like, that was dope?
Fashion-wise?
No, like, sure.
You put that apron on the first time. You're like, I got it.
Because I'm the working class character. There's no fashion in Gabrielle. It's just,
No, just any moment.
honestly, and not to repeat myself, but that Baccarat scene with Lily was for me the best moment of this season, because you know how they circle around them and then everybody disappears in the room. So we had to shoot with the people, and then at some point we were just alone in the room with just like one camera guy like slowly backing up, which felt a bit creepy at first. It was like, is it
Pretend
still...
I'm not here. Pretend I'm not here. We're
And it
like,
was
okay.
But there was something so magical being in this magnificent room and hearing this guy behind her like action, and so we cracked up a few times because of him, but then once we really connected and entered this bubble, it was for me the best memory, because as I said, it was the first time since season 1 that I was able to connect with cheeky, playful, loving Gabrielle and their bubble with Emily. So that was a great memory. Before we went skiing.
Skiing. Falling.
Should he have left her on the slopes? No.
It does happen. It's happened to me. Anyway.
What was a moment? What a favorite moment from? It doesn't have to just be this season, but that would be great too.
Well, doing this promo that really makes me reminisce, is like reminding myself, like, where did we come from? And I was like, I keep remembering my first day on set, and like, it was my for me, it's like my first big role on TV. So you can imagine I arrive on set and I'm like, wow, like there is like things that I don't know the names of it. And I was like terrified. And then like they put me there. I have to. That was the scene when I arrived on my bike, and I'm like, what are you doing here?
Oh yeah.
And Lily comes and like she blew everything away, and it was just acting, and like really made me feel like a superstar, and the rest just went on and on and on from there. And yeah, that's my favorite moment, I think. Yeah,
I love it.
First day.
Bruno?
My favorite moment?
Good morning.
I'm a great ice skater, you know? So for me, it was a fantastic moment to be on the ice. Now I'm very bad, and for Andy Fleming it was very hard to ask me even to stay like this. It was difficult. Excuse me.
You just slap us.
No, but I have a great moment for me. It was in Rome, I have to say, because my mother, she's Italian, and it was very particular for me to do something in Italy, in Rome, and it was a great souvenir.
Oh, I love that. I want you to know, I had to like think about the ice skating because Ashley's such an amazing singer in real life.
Oh, that's
I was like, is he really like a closeted ice skater? Like, are they just pulling on talents here?
No, that was him.
Lucien.
Wow. Honestly, this job just opens up so many doors in Paris. And I've never been to Paris before, so seeing Paris for the first time with these guys, magnificent. Truly, truly. I think it's one of my first episodes, and we was on this bateau mouche, which is a really fancy word for a boat. And the lights on the Eiffel Tower turned on. I'm doing this scene with Lily, and I think most of us were on set that day. And I just catch myself in amazement, and I have to pinch myself so much on this set. But that was definitely one moment where I was like, wow, I'm doing this. I'm kind of living my dream right now.
Darren and Andy, they say Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is Emily in Paris. There are so many people outside of these amazing cast members that go into making this show what it is. Just give us a couple of examples of something that, a scout or whoever it was that brought to this season, and it really created some magic.
Wow.
Could be whoever. It could be a makeup artist. It could be, but then they were like, "Why don't we this?" And it resonated.
First, I'll say Andy as the
Yes.
director, who brings so much magic to the show.
Yes.
I can write something, but he visualizes it in such a beautiful way, and also gets it done in such a incredibly fast amount of time, because we're sort of like shooting what looks like a huge feature film in a matter of days. And it kind of blows me away what he accomplishes in his vision visually for the show. I mean, you look at it like in the polo scene, just the references to Thomas Crown Affair, and Andy showing me these, and I'm like, yeah, I remember it. It's so cool, and to see it come together, it just was was just like so, for me, just so like it takes the show up a notch, beyond what I imagine it could be. So I have to say that he's
yes.
my just that collaboration is so great.
Yeah.
And it is a collaboration, because he'll have an idea and I'll say what I think about it. So we build on each other. It's not just he does his thing and I do my thing. It's we've been working together. I won't even say how long. So we have a kind of language, but it's great to work with Darren. And he wants it to look like a movie. He wants to invest in the visuals of it, which is nice, because most half-hour comedies aren't that. There aren't big musical numbers, there aren't drone shots, there aren't big elaborate dance numbers. It's Crazy Horse. So it's a lot of fun to direct the show. And I will say, there are two people who contributed a lot to this season. Seamus Tierney, who's our new DP, who did a really beautiful job, and Anne Seibel, our genius production designer, really contributes so much.
Yeah.
She built the entire city of Paris for us. But she would if you asked her to.
No, I love it. Round of applause for those folks.
They make the show look so great.
I love it. You split the season on us. You just cut it in half and split it and made us wait.
Actually, Netflix.
Netflix did that. But how did that affect things, if at all? And even with you guys, with the cast of that kind of interruption in how people were seeing the series?
Well, I mean, I wanted to write towards a cliffhanger that may not have been there, but it kind of worked, because I think it forced the story to sort of go to a certain point to make the audience come back for part two. And part two is very different in so many ways than part one. So I felt like it was sort of a nice break, and kind of created a nice break. I think it did work for me as like two separate halves of the same season.
Okay. Were you guys getting any texts like, wait, what's going on? Like, what happens? Just tell me what happens.
Yeah. Please.
Yes.
Just wait. Nobody knows how to wait anymore. No. We have to learn how to wait.
I think also we were confused too, because I was like, what am I not allowed to talk about yet? You know,
Yeah.
because in terms of spoilers
Nothing.
and stuff,
Just say
yeah,
nothing.
just say nothing.
You talk too much anyway.
And then getting deep into some Hollywood stuff, the strikes, the Olympics, all of these different things that were happening that impacted such a huge production. How did that impact the production this year?
Well,
Traffic.
yeah, it
Or
was
like-
We couldn't start until the strikes were over, and then we had to finish before the Olympics began.
exactly. We were squeezed into this little window.
It was a timed event.
And also, the person that would always remind me was Lily. We've got to be done. We've got to be done by this point.
Do you remember that there's the Olympics coming? We have to be done by then too. But then you were like, but we're going to go to Rome, so technically we'll be fine. But they started closing bridges
Yeah.
to
it's
renovate
still like that.
so many months in advance. And so it really, I feel like there was more traffic leading into the Olympics than there were during the Olympics,
Oh, wow.
so I've been told. So I do feel like, and everything was being like extra beautified in the city, which really looked so stunning for the Olympics. But in the background of a lot of our shots was just like scaffolding. And so you're trying to kind of, again, testament to you guys, but like figuring out how to frame out things. And but there was an energy in the city, I think, that everyone was so excited and preparing for it that like, I don't know, I think it kind of, we fed off of that as well. So yeah, I think everyone was just really excited about the city. And there were also people coming to the city for the first time before the Olympics, I think, that, well, I know because I met some people that, are dressed like some of our characters taking pictures in front of the locations. And it was it's just so surreal. But it was lovely that Paris was attracting more people, in a different way. Because I don't think Paris needed our help, because I think Paris has done very well for itself for many, many years. But I think that we painted it in a new color and way. And then, of course, the Olympics just heightened it even more. So it was nice to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And they also kicked us out.
And then we didn't get trailers and...
Also, the entire city was on strike because it's a religion for us.
It is.
Striking.
Striking.
Let's strike now.
2 more questions and you can strike, okay? 2 more questions. No, I loved it. And also, having watched the Olympics, to be able to nestle back into this show because I missed all of that and then being able to see the city again. So thank you for that. I want to get into some rapid fire questions because we have a few minutes left. And we're going down the line. So we're going to start at Darren, and we're going to loop around, okay? Rapid fire. So you guys have longer to think about it.
Yeah.
Our cast does not do well with rapid
don't.
fire. We'll go on.
We're all intellectuals.
Yeah.
We like to believe so.
And these are for you personally, not your character. Okay. Starting with favorite activity in Paris. Go.
Walk around the city. Walking. Love it.
Before they banned scooters, it was scootering with my husband.
Me? I live there. Living.
Walking, eating,
Drinking.
walking.
Drinking.
I think walking.
Yeah, I think you can get lost. It's the most perfect place to get lost. If I give any advice to anyone going to Paris, get lost. You will find everything you need.
That's why you got lost that many times.
It's not with you. That's why I
never
get lost.
find you.
There's nothing in Paris.
Sitting in a bar, having a coffee, and we work to live, you live to work.
Action.
No, clubbing. Paris is the best place to club, honestly. That's the best party scene ever, Paris.
Drinking. Yeah, I think for me it's drinking. I'll come with you.
Complaining.
That was good.
Yes. My favorite activity in Paris is making Emily in Paris.
All right, I love that. All right, who is most likely to laugh during a scene?
That's not him. He's making people laugh.
I know, that's what I was going to say.
That's
I know.
yeah.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of all these guys crack up at one point or another in the middle
No,
of a
there's
scene.
one person that really laughs.
This guy?
Me?
No, of this guy.
Yeah. No, but doesn't Mindy laugh? We just incorporate it into the character. I feel like half the lines I'm like, Emily. It's true. And you guys keep it in the cut. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But it's most fun to make Andy laugh when we hear his. That's the most fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all going to point to that one.
Come on, baby.
Not even a question, right? Not even a question.
I'm not going to laugh at all during season 5.
No.
What character are you in your soul from Emily in Paris?
Who am I in my soul?
In your soul.
From
Emily in
You mean
Paris.
of all? I'm all of them.
Okay.
Together. Yeah, all wrapped up in one. You know, I can relate to all of them. I really can.
Yeah.
But who's my
Jack Cadeau.
That was really good.
Gregory Dupree.
I won't be in season 5.
You cannot complain.
Lily.
Oh, I'm Emily.
Emily.
It's not even a question. Yeah, for me. I mean, we have our differences. We have our conversations with ourselves, and we have our differences. But I'm like, I have parts of other characters I would love to express more of, or like have different sides of. But I think at her core, I'm
Yeah. Was that your ugly sweater that you brought to set?
No. Believe me, I want it. It had a remote control, and you could like light the eyebrows, like the bit, like it sang songs. I mean, it was so much fun. I love that sweater. It's a great. There were like 10 different sweaters. That was.
Wasn't it
just
so
the one.
expensive to make as well?
Yes, because they literally crafted it.
Yeah.
And like I had so many light bulbs.
We'll send you the link.
Yeah. We'll send you the
Sounds like a fire hazard.
It's true. It kept me warm.
Philippine, could you beat anyone out? No.
Of course not.
What about you, Ashley? Is there any other?
Probably, I think probably Mindy the most, with a little sprinkle of like, if I'm like probably a little bit of Luke sometimes,
Okay.
and a little bit of Emily other times. I like to people please, but probably Mindy. I hope, yeah, Mindy.
Yeah, that's Alfie, man. Yeah, Alfie.
Yeah, Team Alfie.
No. Yeah, I'd say I'd check in with Alfie.
Okay. Well, that just means amazing casting. We got it. Last rapid fire question. I gotta do it. Who should Emily choose? I gotta do it.
Of course, herself.
Herself.
We're not going to find out that fast because we got more story to tell.
We do have more story to tell. Anything you can tell us, Darren. Anything that you can tease us. I told people they would get a tease.
But we're going to see more Italy next season. But we're not. But we're not going to leave Paris. So we're going to have both. We're going to be busy.
Okay. See more Italy, but not leaving Paris. We will be there. Thank you so much.